You're listening to
Catholic Sprouts,
the daily podcast for Catholic kids that strives to plant seeds of faith. Hey there, Sprouts. Today is Thursday, February 31st, 2022. This week on the Catholic Sprouts podcast, we have been talking about the deadly sin of sloth, which is laziness. It's inaction when we just don't do what we need to do. We talked about how God created us to work, how Jesus worked while he was here, and how the great work he was given was to save our souls, which he accomplished when he died on the cross. Yesterday, we talked about how in order for us to be saved, we need to not only have faith, but we need to do works. We need to join in the work of saving the world, which Jesus allows us to join him in doing. Now, today we're going to talk about the two spiritual lessons that Venerable Fulton Sheen pulls out for us to recognize from these words that Jesus says on the cross. So the two lessons are that we need to be aware of spiritual sloth when it creeps into our life. And secondly, that we need to keep working. So spiritual sloth, spiritual laziness. I want you to think about this. So if we think about our bodies, if we are lazy, we lay around and eat potato chips and lay on the couch all day, what will happen to our bodies? Well, they will become really weak, will become unhealthy, will be sick. It is not good for our bodies to just lay around and not do anything. I think we all know that. So next, think about your mind. What would happen if you didn't challenge your mind at all? All you did was sit around and watch movies and play video games all day long. You didn't do any math or reading or even thinking. What would happen to your mind? Well, pretty soon you become kind of dumb because your mind would just kind of shrivel. So we know this is the case with our minds and with our bodies. What we might not be able to see so quickly is that the same thing happens with our souls. If we don't expose ourselves to Jesus and the Blessed Sacrament, if we don't learn about Jesus, about our church, don't read scripture, we don't pray, we don't talk about Jesus with other people, these are simple things, but if we don't do them regularly, then our soul will become a weakling. Our soul will become weak. So we really need to watch out for spiritual laziness. Am I being lazy in prayer? Am I avoiding doing these things out of laziness? So just monitor yourself and make sure that you're not letting your soul become weak or shriveled, but that you're giving it a little bit of a workout once in a while. Now, the second lesson from Venerable Fulton Sheen is that we need to keep working. But we do not necessarily need to worry about being successful. Remember, when we stand before Jesus in final judgment, he will ask us what we did. Did we feed the hungry, clothe the naked, give drink to the thirsty? Did we love our neighbor and through that person love Jesus Christ? Did we also embrace suffering? Did we tell other people that needed to be told about Jesus? Did we do these things? So he's going to ask, did you do them? What he's not going to ask you is, were you successful? A lot of times when we tell people about Jesus, it doesn't change their hearts. Sometimes we try to go out of our way to help someone that's having a hard day and they're just not cheered up. Other times we try to organize some big event to help the homeless or feed the hungry, and it just doesn't pan out like we wanted it to. And you know what? That's okay. Mother Teresa and Saint Therese of Lisieux, they said it this way. They said, we are called to be faithful, not necessarily successful. So the real challenge is that we should never get discouraged. God has a plan. He's in control. Some of our work will succeed. Some of it will not. But regardless, we need to keep working. keep going, keep trying every new day, keep working. And so, Sprouts, my challenge for you today is to do one thing to give your soul a little bit of exercise. I would recommend that one thing be reading a little bit of the gospel. The daily gospel passage is a great place to start, but not only reading, but actually meditating and praying about it. You could also stop by the Adoration Chapel, say hi to Jesus there, or speak about Jesus with a friend. But I challenge you to simply do one thing to give your soul a workout. That's it for Catholic Sprouts today. We'll be back tomorrow, but until then, continue to grow in your faith and truly sprout into the beautiful creation that God created you to be. Just one more thing. We are excited that we finally have more Family Examine books available in our shop. They've been sold out for a while. Our most popular book and a great way to get into prayer as a family. Check it out through the direct link in the show notes for this podcast episode.
This show is a production of the Spoke Street Media Podcast Network. For more great podcasts, visit spokestreet.com.